Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Think working to a degree. Yeah, looks like I got some sound here. So we will give this a shot and see what happens. Tonight we have Minnesota, Chicago. In Chicago. And starting goalies, Gustafson versus Soderblom. So let's just see how this goes. They haven't met at all yet this season. And it actually gave me the season, the series, but it doesn't, I guess. I guess you only get the recent meetings. Okay. Oh, I love this one. Alex Goligoski might reach 100 goals tonight. He's at 95. He has to score 5 goals tonight in order to do that. Connor Murphy might reach 50 goals. He also needs 5 goals tonight. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have a shootout. Maybe we won't. Other than that, a couple of minor accomplishments. Hayden Fleury playing his 300th game, as well as Kiprasov is playing his 300th game tonight. But enough of the yammering. Let's go and see if this works. Okay, so far so good. Now, okay, yeah, we're good. Like I said, I can't read these names above the numbers that well. So I don't know anybody's number on either team, so I'll just be winging it. And the unfortunate part is you will not get a play-by-play log for this game because reasons. The game engine only produces play-by-play logs if I use the classic, which isn't very exciting. Here we are. Puck's about to drop. Minnesota with the draw, in on a break, and he's picked from behind. Minnesota came right out of the gate there. Wasn't good for the good back check there. Chicago, first shot on net. Gustafson make the save. Chicago comes in off of a block shot and just whistles one wide. Minnesota brings it up slowly, dumps it into the corner. Chicago retrieves it. And they bring it back in across Minnesota line. Oh, but number 92 is offside. Passing around here, another shot kicked out by Soderstrom or Gustafson and iced by Minnesota. And another icing. So Minnesota still can't change their minds. Chicago makes a change. Both players waved out of the dot. Minnesota with the draw, and yet again. Oh no, they stopped that one but put themselves offside. It was a sure icing, but Chicago player got it but caught his teammates offside. Long shot blocked. Number 38 dumps it down. This should be icing. Another long shot from the point stopped. Interesting. I didn't see a player touch that, but Minnesota with another block shot, but his pocket is picked as he tries to come across the line. Long shot saved. Minnesota finally gets it down the ice. That isn't an icing. Makes a change. Gets the turnover and they bring it back. Finishes their line change. And I thought he put himself offside. Looks like he just thread the needle there. Chicago with the offside though. Minnesota wins the draw, brings it up. Still looking for those 5 goals from Golgoski and breakaway. And they score! Well, that must be Patrick Kane. He's the only one I know that wears 88. The only other 88 I know is not in the league anymore. And it is. Taylor Hall's got 15 assists on the season. Having a good year. Minnesota takes an early 1-0 lead. 6:44 into the first period. Minnesota with the draw. And we're going to set our play, but we have a cross-checking penalty by the goal scorer. So, Minnesota, power play opportunity. They get a good shot on net, but Chicago gets the rebound and brings it out. Ooh, good shorthanded chance. We're still pressing for a shorthanded goal. And Jack Quinn, 2 minutes for high sticking. So we'll play a little 4-on-4 for 43 seconds. Good pressure by Chicago there, draws a penalty. Long shot, picked off. And we set a play as we let the last of the time on the power play kick off, or 4-on-4. Chicago now has a brief minute power play here. And bring it in, and they get set up. The goal scorer's got it, feeds it across, and they turn the puck over, and Minnesota's got it. That should do it for the power play. As Minnesota dumps it into the corner, Chicago recovers. Definitely a little bit to work on with this graphic engine. But it does do the job. Long shot smothered by Gustafson. Minnesota brings it out of their own zone, across the red line and into Chicago's zone. And Chicago is going to ice the puck here. Ryan Hartman, interference. Chicago to the power play. 0 for 1 tonight. Minnesota gets the draw and clears it down the length of the ice. Couple errant passes, but Chicago recovers and they bring it in. But nothing doing as Minnesota clears the zone and dumps it down. Covered by Chicago. Minnesota changes up its penalty killers. Chicago plays keep away in the corner and they finally bring it out. Chicago dumps it into the corner. Makes a full change, and that'll probably do it for the power play as Minnesota brings it out. Chicago's got it. Turned over. Minnesota brings it in, but they are offside. Minnesota wins the draw, brings it in. Work it around the perimeter. Shot on goal. Soderblom with the save. Chicago brings it back. Long shot. Stopped. Quick outlet pass. Minnesota's got daylight. But he waited a little too long for help, and Chicago gets the puck. Ooh, almost a turnover there in front of the net. Minnesota whistles one wide of the post. And dumped into the corner by Chicago. Minnesota recovers. Chicago makes the line change. Turnover as Minnesota's making a line change. And Chicago brings it back. Just 2 minutes left in the first period. Chicago 1-0. And a goal by Patrick Kane. Minnesota, the wingers got some daylight, but number 19's offside. Long dump in, easily steered aside by Gustafsson. It looks like Minnesota's iced the puck. And they have. Chicago player thrown out of the face-off. But they win it anyways. Shot stopped by Gustafsson. Ooh, bad pass. Chicago gets the puck, but loses it, and Minnesota brings it out. But they put themselves offside again. Chicago with the draw. 20 seconds left in the period. They got one last rush here. Shot on goal, stopped. And that's the end of the period. Period mostly controlled by Chicago. 14-5 shots on goal. Almost double the offensive zone time. Okay, well, as fast as Zamboni drivers are done, let's get to the second period. Chicago with the draw. They move it in. Block shot. And Minnesota recovers and brings it back. And an errant pass ends up on the stick of Connor Bedard, who moves it in and plays a little pass back and forth here. Long shot. Kicked up quickly, dumped in. Chicago brings it in, moves it around a little bit. And Minnesota dumps the puck out of play into the penalty box. Minnesota wins the draw. For some help, long shot, easily steered aside. We got a partial break here, but he's caught from behind and nothing happens. Minnesota playing a little pass and catch and release here. Wow, he skated around the goalie and tucks that one in. Kuprasov in his 300th game ties the game. Play looked like nothing, and he just kind of danced around and tucked that puck in. And bring it back in. Ooh. Soderblom had to be careful there. Do it all over again. Minnesota putting on a little pressure here, but Chicago gets it out and brings it up. Bad pass again, and it's picked off. So it turns the puck over. And Chicago puts themselves offside. Long shot in. Gustafson turns that aside. Minnesota brings it out. He has his pocket picked, and Chicago brings it out. And we have a penalty. Tripping. Minnesota to the power play. Chance to take the lead here. Long shot. Stopped. Chicago gets the puck. Clears it out. And they're offside. Again, Chicago with the draw. Making it look like this is their power play and not Minnesota's. And they finally get the puck away from Chicago and bring it back up. Only less than 40 in the penalty. Face off. Minnesota wins the draw. Long shot. Ooh. Kicked out. Back at full strength. A couple of good opportunities there for Minnesota, but it looks like they've iced the puck here. And they've iced it again. Minnesota's been guilty of doing that a couple of times this game. And unable to get that change in, and yeah, there's a bad change and it causes a goal. It's either Bedard or Kane. I didn't see who tucked that in. Kane. Goligoski got an assist, but that's not a goal, so we're still waiting for him to score his 5 tonight to get to 100, I do believe it was. Chicago retakes the lead, 2-1. And they bring the puck right back in. Long shot. Straight side. He gets his own rebound. Another shot. Minnesota's defensive play is a little suspect here. Long shot just goes wide. Chicago making changes on this extended zone time. The puck gets out and dumped right back in. Minnesota brings it up. Nothing doing there. Brought back in by Minnesota. But he turns the puck over, and Chicago makes an errant pass that's picked off by Minnesota, and they bring it back in. And a shot blocked. Kane back in with it. Long shot. Easily turned aside, and Minnesota dumps it down into the corner, and Chicago recovers, but he's got a man on. And Kane's got some open ice. Minnesota turns it over. We got a breakaway. And a stop. Kane was just out of gas there. Minnesota with a block shot. They bring it out. Shot into the netting. Minnesota with another long shot. A couple of whacks at the puck, but Chicago clears and brings it out. 23 has his pocket picked, and Minnesota brings it back. Quick passes, and they make a change. So a couple more shots. Soderblom had to be careful there. So it's carried the play a little bit this period, but Chicago with the only goal. icing on Chicago. Our 23s face off against each other. And Chicago brings it out. Turn the puck over. A lot of turnovers at the blue line between both teams tonight. And that's the end of the second period. Just we have Minnesota's closed the gap a little on the offensive zone time here. And the shots have gotten a little closer. I'd definitely say Minnesota carried that period a little more than Chicago did. All right, here we go. Period number 3. 20 minutes left. 1 goal game. Minnesota wins the draw. Slowly brings it out, but for some reason he just dumps the puck in, and that'll be icing. Did not get to center before he did that. Turnover at the blue line, but another icing by Minnesota. Another blocked shot by Minnesota. And another icing by Minnesota. Minnesota wins the draw. An errant pass leads to a good scoring opportunity. Minnesota gets it, dumps the puck in. And they make a complete line change with the exception of the one guy, and he's still out there, number 21. Long shot. Minnesota moves it around, and Soderblom has to cover that one up. This is the most players waved out of the faceoff I've seen. Here we have another one. They finally dropped the puck. Minnesota wins the draw. Ooh, just over the net. Minnesota getting chances, just can't find the back of the net yet. They've evened up the shots on goal after getting down early. But they ice the puck yet again. Well, this looks like to be another icing. Minnesota's confusing the two-line passing with icing here. That looked offside, but well, we'll let it slide. Chicago long stop by Gustafson. Hasn't been as busy since the first period, but Chicago with a bit of a flurry here, and another icing on Minnesota. And yet another icing on Minnesota. Chicago with the draw, just wide. Lots of pressure from that top line of Chicago's. Minnesota yet another icing. This looks to be yet another icing. Minnesota's not doing themselves any favors with all these icings. Shot just goes wide. Minnesota's got the puck. And they finally get across center without icing the puck. Waiting for his mates to change, but loses the puck and they get it back. Minnesota's completed their line change, and Chicago dumps it in and changes up some of their personnel. Shot by Minnesota doesn't get through. Brought back in again by Minnesota, but they turn it over at the blue line. Dumped into the corner by Chicago, around the boards. Minnesota picks it up. And a back pass. And they bring it into the offensive zone. Move it in front. Save. Offside. Looks like Kane was offside. Bedard tried to make a move and put Kane offside. And shot by Minnesota stopped. Chicago wins the draw and brings it out. Again, the turnovers. Number 14 has his pocket picked by Chicago. 7 minutes left, third period. Still a 1-goal game. And yet another icing by Minnesota. Is that 7 icings this period already? Add another one to the list. Chicago wins the draw, takes a shot, and brings it back in offside. This is a shot wide. Turnover. Minnesota's just defensive play has been lacking tonight. I think Gustafson's been on his game, or it could be in a lot worse than what it is. And offside again by Chicago. It's been icings for Minnesota, and Chicago's offsides. Long shot in, steered aside. Chicago picks up the rebound and moves out. Just under 4.5 minutes to go. Minnesota looking for that tying goal. Not getting any zone time this period. Long shot wide. Minnesota recovers and brings it out. Move it around. It's a shot on it, but steered aside. And Chicago's got the rebound. They have a partial break, but slows up, waiting for a change. Looking for the tip in front, didn't get it. Almost too many men on the ice there. .138. We're going to see the goalie come out. Not yet. And Chicago brings it out. Moves it across, just wide. Minnesota needs to get it up in a hurry. Goalie needs to come out if they're going to do anything, but that's not going to happen. They're going to ice the puck yet again, and that'll probably almost do it for this period. Chicago, offensive zone draw. Minnesota's got it. One last gasp to get up the ice. Goalie's finally out. 10 seconds. Blocked. And that's the game. Chicago goes into Minnesota. Minnesota goes into Chicago and loses. Close game. Really tight checking. Let's see who our 3 stars are. Patrick Kane, 2 goals. Gustafson for Minnesota, 38 saves on 40 shots. And Zuccarello, 1 assist for Minnesota. Looks like everybody made it through unscathed. All right. Well, that will do it for tonight. Let's go have a look at the box score quickly here. Yeah, lots of giveaways. Combined with the takeaways, yeah. Minnesota did fairly well in the face-off dot. Just with all those icings, they better have done well in the face-off dot. No really glaring issues with either team tonight. Gustafson with a 950 save percentage and Soderblom 971. Good game by both goaltenders. They kept their teams in it. All right. Well, that'll end our broadcast for tonight, and I will be doing all this again next week. So look for the poll on Thursday for who you want to see